All right, we live. Peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon, and you're tuned into the the Billionaire Mind State. Um, let's start it off. Let me start the recording on Spotify, Apple, and the Google Podcast. All right, we live on all venues now. Let me start it over. Peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon, and you're tuned into the Billionaire Mind State, the second part of the lecture. This one is going to be called Upload Beast. Upload Beast. And I'm going to get into why I named it that. Here in a second. Let me do my intros. And I'm going to get right down to it because I got a lot to say today. I got this is a pretty big, chunky, and an important part of the equation. So I'm going to try to cover as much as I can in 45 minutes to an hour. I hope I don't lose too many people. I know there's a lot of short attention spans, but again, this isn't for that particular crowd. So I'm going to try to dive deep as I can, but as quickly as I can. So, if you got any questions, again, go to my website, www.billionaireloanofficer.com, and you can book me for a free consultation on certain things. And then certain other consultations cost money. So go to www.billionaireloanofficer.com. Book me for consultation. Also, if you need me for sales training, motivational speeches, so on and so forth, that is the site to do it at. www.hocmortgage.com. Remember, I am a mortgage broker by trade. So not only am I a serial entrepreneur, published author, but mortgages is what I do by trade, hence the name Billionaire Loan Officer. So please go to hocmortgage.com if you want me to help you on the mortgage side. My game plan is to take renters to homeowners and to take homeowners to investors and have the financial freedom. So hocmortgage.com. Also at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. For those who don't know, most people know if you're tuning into the lecture series, my name is Brandon B. Dixon. So if you're just randomly catching these lectures, my name is Brandon B. Dixon. Again, serial entrepreneur, mortgage broker, published author. My book, Sales the Nucleus of Any Profession, is out right now on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. Get you a copy of that. It's selling out. Also, I'm a community activist, so on and so forth. So I just name dropped all of the sites that, you can find my products. So let's get down into the lecture. I don't want to keep y'all too long, so I'm getting right down to it. First of all, let's get a brief recap. Okay. For those who hadn't tuned into the first part, I suggest you go to that and check it out right now. The first part of the Billionaire Mind State, we talked about epigenetics. And epigenetics, I want you to go ahead and Google Bruce Lipton. Research it on the internet. There's TED Talks, there's lectures, there's books, there's all kind of stuff. Get versed in epigenetics. That's the first part of the Billionaire Mind State. To break it down real quickly, science has shown now that it's not just genetics, that you're locked into a matrix where you're guaranteed or you're forced to do something or carry a trait from generation to generation, but your consciousness chooses to unlock these particular genes based on environment. This is a scientific fact. So if you were, in a diabetic household and you got fed subconsciously diabetic thoughts and diabetic, habits, then you in turn unlock that diabetic gene. So epi, meaning on top of genetics, epigenetics, that's where you get the name from. How did this relate to the Billionaire Mind State? Well, we came to the conclusion of the last lecture that if you put yourself in a healthy environment and you detox your old environment, your family, your generational curses, put yourself around winners, you in turn can now manifest that winner mind state. So that's the whole point of epigenetics. detoxing, purging the old self, getting rid of toxic friends, getting rid of toxic environments, placing yourself in a new environment where you can control the outcome. That brings us to the second part. Upload beast. I gave an analogy in the first lecture. I talked about us being a computer, with man being mind. The consciousness is your software, or the operating systems is your software, what you're taught through life, through your experiences, especially through the first 7 years. You're taught everything you need to know about operating in this third dimension. You're taught through your parents. Doing that detox is like doing a factory reset, hitting that factory reset button. You're purging all those old memories. You're purging all those old habits. You're forgiving those who need forgiveness. You're forgiving yourself, more importantly, and you're starting over mentally. You're resetting the button. Now, what do I upload? What type of systems do I upload? What do I do now? And hence, that's why I call it upload beast. And it's a double entendre, and you'll figure it out by the time I finish here. So what do you have to ask yourself? What do I want to become? And you should have contemplated on this when you did your reflection period. What do I want to become, and what do I need to become this? What do I need to put in place of what I just deleted in order to get the outcome that I need, in order to get to where I need to get to? What do I need to do? So again, you have to be a student of the game. You have to study the top people in your field. If you want to, like I give you an example, like with me, I want to become the GOAT of lending, of being a mortgage broker and a loan officer. So I studied all the top people. I studied the top 500. I studied the top people in my field. Studied all the rookies. I studied the vets. What they do, what their habits, where they make their business, where the locations, everything. I studied all of this stuff. Not only that, I like to study a lot of athletes. And the reason why I like to study a lot of athletes is because they outdo themselves physically. And you can take that same thing that they do physically and apply it to your business. And then I give you an example, like say, for example, when I first did my purge, and I did my detox, the first thing that I did is erase all of my iPads, my cell phone, and on the screensaver I put people like Walter Payton or Ray Lewis, because I studied them and I like what they stood for. I give you an example, like with Walter Payton, all the stuff I had him running up this hill. He used to run up and down this hill in Mississippi, all during the off season, and that's what got him in shape. That's what got him in such a where he's so hard to tackle. Jerry Rice used to work, outrageously hard. He used to have a whole nother practice after everybody else was turning it in. Everybody else was going home. He still was out there running routes. Drew Brees would sit there and everybody's off and sit there and run plays simulated in his head, read defenses. Ray Lewis would sit there in the film room and he'll know exactly when Peyton Manning was about to go to the restroom. So that's how much he read tendencies. These GOATs in their particular field, which was playing football, they're millionaires. I copied some of their work ethic. So I wanted to be the best in my field. So I studied the competition, like Ray Lewis might have studied Peyton Manning. I took the extra reps, like Jerry Rice took the extra reps when he was running routes. So I would sit there and study guidelines over and over and over again. I would read defenses. I would do read marketing and look at the latest marketing trends like Loan Depot and all those guys. And, you know, I would work the extra hours like Walter Payton, work every Saturday. In fact, this is a Sunday right now. I'm doing this lecture. So I made no distinction. I erased all of that stuff from, I don't care what hour a day it is. I don't care if it's a weekend. The normal, what people consider normal, 9 to 5, and then take off the rest of the time, and weekends they're off. I erased all of that out of my paradigm. And now it's just work. It's really to get rich, is to get to the billionaire status or die trying. So I took everything normal people do and erased it out of my paradigm. And I uploaded a beast. They say, and let me take the beast to another level as well. Let's take it to a metaphysical level. They say, in order to be a beast, in order to catch a beast, or you got to become the beast within. I'll let that marinate for a second. And being a beast, what that means to me is that becoming that, taking that animalistic urge, that carnal urge, that carnal instinct, but I'm pointing it into a direction where I want the outcome that I want, which is prosperity. You know, you taking all that dissatisfaction that you took from your former life, so to say, your former actions, your what you detox yourself from. You're not leaving that dissatisfaction behind. You're forgiving yourself, but you're taking that dissatisfaction and you're using it to fuel yourself for this next phase of your life. Because if you were satisfied, you wouldn't make a need. There would be a need to remanufacture yourself. There wouldn't be a need for change. So you're taking that dissatisfaction. You're taking all the times that you got told no by the girls. You're taking all the times that, you know, you went for job interviews and it was 30-second job interviews, you know. You're taking all those times that people just told you flat out no without giving you a chance. They just judge you based on appearance. You're taking all of that dissatisfaction and that negative energy and you focusing it back on the positive. And the positive is to be the outcome that you want it to be. You're using that animal instinct. You're using that fury, that fire to light yourself and to propel yourself. So this is the meat of what I want to get into. This is the meat, the cusp. The meat is this. You have to, in order to outdo yourself, in order to get the billionaire mind state, you have to take it above and beyond. One of the 48 laws of power is you're creating a larger than life character. So you have to take what's realistic, as quote unquote, what the average Joe considered realistic, and then 10x that. So it's unrealistic to most people. Because what we've trained ourselves to be unrealistic, we have that capability. Just like a flea. You know, this is how fleas get trained. The real quick story. You know, if I had told it before, I got to tell it again just to make this point. How you train a flea is that a flea has the natural capability of jumping 2 feet vertically in the air. How you train fleas is that you take a mayonnaise jar and you barely poke holes in it just enough so the fleas can breathe, but they can't escape. You put the fleas in a mayonnaise jar for 24 to 48 hours. And during those 24 to 48 hours, that flea is going to jump up and hit his head on the can, on the top of the can. And he's going to do that over and over and over and over and over. So over the 24 and the next 48 hours, that flea in turn trained itself to only jump as far as that can will let him. So now after 48 hours, you open that can and those fleas will never jump out of that can because it's trained itself that it only could jump so far. I'm saying that to say this. We train ourselves that we only could do so much. We pamper ourselves like babies. I can't do this because this I'm gonna burn out. Like Grant Cardone said in one of his books, is that you can't burn out. You're not a candle. One of the things that we have energy that we can recycle, that you can't, nobody can take away your energy. You know, so whatever energy you stay focused on, and that's what you can manifest. So you can't burn out, especially if you're passionate about it. But we baby ourselves. Oh, you're gonna burn out. That's the excuse of the 90%, and the 90% that won't do anything, that will bust a grape, that won't bust a grape. So when I'm uploading this new software, these new operation systems, I have to have it beast mode be a permanent mode. I have to have it where I'm in permanent beast mode, where I'm going permanent ape shit. Period. Because I've tried the mediocre stuff. I've tried the just enough. Remember, we talked about this in the first lecture. We talked about working on a job where you're doing just enough to get by. You're doing just enough not to get fired. That's cool with the job, but you got to go above and beyond when it's for yourself, when it's for your particular business, when it's for your particular field that you're about to get into. You have to go berserk. I'll give you a quick story. You know, I played high school ball. I played college ball. And I went to Morningside College in Sioux City, Iowa. It's a Division II school. Now it's NAIA. Played offensive line out there. Played guard, and then I got moved to tackle. But they had a transfer from Florida State that walked on. He was a little bit taller than me. I was about 6'1". He's about 6'3", 6'4". He played tackle as well when I played guard. But this dude was always in impeccable shape. Always in impeccable shape. That's one thing that us offensive linemen had problems with, is getting in shape. And I asked him, I said, well, how did you get in shape? He's like, man, I just went crazy. I just tried to kill myself. You know, he said he had the same problem at Florida State, getting in shape, until he went goofy and then he pushed himself beyond the limits that he thought he could go. And he found out that, like I said in the first part, that when you think you have enough, your body has another 50%. So it's your mind blocking you. Just like that flea, you think you only could jump now 6 inches because you've been trained, but your body, you actually can jump 2 feet in the air. So you have to let those boundaries that you fenced around yourself go, those imaginary boundaries, thinking that you only could do this much. You have to let that go. And you have to let the fear go, and you have to soar. You have to get out the nest and fly. Once you get out that nest and fly, you'll see that there's nothing to this. The stuff that we think we're going to be tired and burnt out, we're not. You're going to see when you get those results, and you're going to get hooked on those results. And it's actually easier to do this than to actually be that worker, had that long drag of not seeing anything. That was called dead-end job is actually more tolling on your psyche than actually going hard for yourself. So get rid of those boundaries that you think, and upload a system that is going to outdo yourself. It's going to outdo the competition. You're going to dominate your field. Set yourself up for success, not failure. And use that dissatisfaction that you had from your former self, and let that be the fuel. Just think about it. You've seen the results of what you've been doing. You see how people treat you. You see how people treat you when you're not important, or they deem that you're not important. And sad to say, in this world, people revere success, and they equate success with moolah, bread, money, skrilla, dough. Is it right? That's debatable. But instead of whining about the rules, get with the rules. We could cry about the rules all the time. Well, money's not important. That's loser talk. That's talk of people that don't want to get in the game and don't want to get a high score out the game, should I say. Yeah, that's fine. You could denounce it. You could, get religious and philosophical. That's fine. That's, if that's what you want to do. But in order to get in this billionaire mind state, if you want to get in the game and make a few touchdowns and become a Hall of Fame player within the game, you need to remanufacture yourself, remanufacture your mind. People respect money. People respect money. People respect winners. And winners in this society make a lot of money. It just is what it is. I used to say all the time, you can complain about being on a Canadian field, but the fact is you have to go 110 yards, not 100 yards, to score the touchdown. Complain about the rules or not, 100 yards in the Canadian League won't get you the touchdown. Who's right, who's wrong, who knows? The rules are the rules. So complaining won't get you any touchdowns. And people that complain won't win the game anyway. So, we'll see you again. You'll be back. So in this particular paradigm, get used to making some money. If you want to be on the winning side, you want to be on a winning team. So in order for that to be done, you have to become a beast. You have to be a beast. I talked about this earlier in the podcast. We talked about today on the Power of Ownership podcast. We talked about scamming those multi-level marketing businesses and the shortcuts to success. Don't exist. Those people that want to get rich quick, it's an oxymoron. It doesn't exist. People that want to win the lottery, I put that all in the same tent. The people that talk about the music business, all you need is the one hit. The people that want to scratch the lottery tickets. The people that, jump in front of cars and try to get the winning lawsuit. Or even the gold diggers that try to get the right guy to try to get pregnant by. You leave it all at the chance. You have no control of your life. You're trying to hope and wish. And you're crossing your fingers that something might happen for you. You're out of control. You have no control of your life. You're hoping and wishing. And I'll even put religious people in the same tent. The people that lose control, that don't know God is them. God is a verb. They want to have some outside entity drop something in your lap. Well, if it's for me, God. Same thing, different face. You have no control of your life. So for those who want to get out of that mentality, come to the winning side, you have to upload these operating systems and you have to develop these new habits that make you a beast, that you're going to outdo yourself, that each day you're going to maximize your potential. Each day you're going to want to feel you want to have it to where there's not enough time. You want to get as much as done as possible within that 24 hours. See, with workers, it's the opposite. They want to work their 8 hours and barely work their 8 hours. They, probably have out of the 8, 2 productive hours where they're actually working. The rest they're, playing, grab ass or telling some jokes or, gossiping on the clock, and they want to get paid for it. And then they cry about how stressful this job is. That mentality of barely doing anything, and then they take the rest of the time, they either park in front of the TV, park in front of the video games, or go out and party, whatever they're going to do to fill up the rest of the time. And they wonder why, and they have just enough money to get by, just to just to get by. If any emergency happens, they're paycheck to paycheck. You know, some people either paycheck to paycheck or every other paycheck to paycheck. You know, but you're a couple of paychecks away from being homeless. Basically, again, just keeping your head above water. You know, just enough so you can breathe. Those type of people, they can't understand this particular mind state. You have to totally reverse that mind state when you're on this side uploading beast. And the beast mind frame and the billionaire mind state is as much as I could get done in that day. And I want to have it to where even when I'm sleeping, the money is working for me. Even when I'm sleeping, money is at work working for me. How can I set that up? Let's go back to the old mind frame. The old mind frame is I do this minuscule job, I make this minuscule money, and I try to manage my finances accordingly. And I do as much foolishness as I could do, have as much fun as I can have off of what I can afford. That's the broke mind state. The billionaire mind state is this. How can I have this money multiplying 24 hours a day? Just like if I was to work out, you know, how can I fat burn? How can I be burning fat 24 hours a day? What do I need to do? First off, you got to have the 7 streams of income. We talked about this a little bit on the first, and I told you I was going to dive into it a little bit deeper into this lecture. 7 streams of income. You got to have not only your vocation, you know, like I said, I'm a loan officer, but you have to have a secondary vocation. I'm a sales trainer where I get paid in lumps. You know, for extracurricular 1099. You want to have you at least 2 or 3 1099s. You know, if you got to drive Lyft, even just for tax purposes, be aware that Trump changed the tax purposes. Trump changed the tax codes for the last 2 years. And it's more geared towards small business owners. So if you're a W-2 making 6 figures, you're going to pay a lot more in taxes this year. You got to have a 1099 in order to file the things that we used to be able to file off with a W-2. So be aware of this. So you need to have a couple of 1099s where you're teaching somebody, where you're doing some consultation, something to where occasionally you have a nice lump sum of money that you could charge. And then you can write this off taxes. Again, I'm not a tax professional, but consult your CPA. Consult your tax professional and they'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Let's leave that as that. Next, you want to have an income coming from an internet-based business, to where you invest in whatever. You know, you want to do whatever, shipping goods to a dog washing business or whatever you want to do where you have an internet business, a gambling site, that's a legal gambling site, whatever. Long as it's legal, moral and ethical. Set something up with where you got money coming in while you're sleeping. A subscription-based site, whatever. Have your internet business where people can log on and you're making money. You wake up and there's changes in your bank account. Even with myself, not only have an internet-based business, but I have the books as well. You know, and then I got the Patreon coming as well with the lectures. These are free lectures, but I got more granular lectures coming about sales techniques, so on and so forth. So, and that's all building up your intellectual property. Get that going. Get your portfolio going as far as your investments, 401ks. Get your Roth IRAs. Get your retirement plan going. You know, get your bonds going. Get your different, and then not only that, get your real estate going. This is my area of expertise. Get the investor, fix and flips, do a couple of fix and flips a year. Most importantly, get you a couple of doors as far as rental portfolio. Think about it. You want to get up to where you own a few houses. That way you up 10 grand a month before you even wake up. Anything else you do vocational is all black. Now I can just use that money to invest in other properties to expand myself. But if you're using the money that you live off of, that you make just to live off of, you'll never get out the hole. Never. So switch your mind frame. Take 7 streams of income at least in order to get to this particular field. So let's recap a bit. So not only do I have put these systems in place where work ethic wise, I'm gonna maximize my day from working out, starting the day at 5:30. That's another thing. I gotta train myself, and I'm working on it this year. And this is part of me going from the millionaire to the billionaire mind state. 5:30, it's no other way to do it. I used to try to do it at night. I used to try to do it during the day. It just doesn't work as well as when you pop up at 5:30 and work out. Because what happens is you pop up 5:30, by the time you shower and everything, get to the gym, drive to the gym at 6 o'clock, you work out, maybe it's 7:30, 8 o'clock, you get back to the home or to the office. By the time you get to the office, it's 9 o'clock. You've done your workout, it's out of the way before people start calling you at 9 a.m. Then you can work your regular day. That way you can get to bed early, 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, get to bed early so you can pop up for 5:30. I used to try to work out at midnight when nobody's there. It was cool. It worked for a while, but think about it. You work out. You're so amped from working out, you don't get to sleep until 5 o'clock. So by the time I pop up, it's 11 o'clock. Half the day's gone. So you're playing catch up. So 5:30 works best. So everything from working out, popping up at 5:30, working out, to having systems set up to where you're having your hands in multi things at one time and keeping them all going, where it's easier for you. So again, you got to be a beast. You tried the minimalist lifestyle or putting the minimal effort lifestyle in before. Now you got to maximize your potential. This isn't a game. This is life. My mentor, Mattress Mac, always used to say, you got to make a deposit before you make a withdrawal. And this is a lot of people's problem. They want to get rich, but they don't want to put any effort into it. They want to put minimal effort and get maximum yield. It just doesn't work like that. It's almost 2 for 1. Just like working out. You put in 2 parts and then you get out 1. You put in 2 good months of with the working out, you put in 2 solid months of heavy workouts, really good workouts, and then you might see, some results. You're not going to just work out one time and see some results. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I eat salad one time and I want to see some results. It's not how this works. You have to put in work, and then the results will come. It just is what it is. So the magic diet pill people that want to cut corners, that want to scam to get ahead, they want to sell drugs or do anything illegal to get ahead, won't work. Won't work. You might, you got the 1 in 100 that this works for. And that there, most people use that as a mannequin to lure everybody else in. And everybody wants that same results when this is an anomaly. Doesn't happen often. This old cliche, the harder I work, the luckier I get. You can't usurp the hard work. It just is what it is. So get used to the beast mentality. Get used to going to where you're trying to kill yourself. You're trying to go above and beyond. Sleep. I say get your sleep. I'm an advocate of sleep. Get your 8 hours of sleep. But during that 16, go hard. Forget the Netflix. Forget these millionaires. You're watching these millionaires on TV doing their thing. They're creating their purpose. They're leading their purpose. They're doing what they need to do, and you're watching them. So take that out of your equation. For 16 hours a day, you should be going hard. And it doesn't take one or 2 days for this to happen. This has to be done over the course of several months, if not several years, of you outdoing yourself, you making plays, you making touchdowns in order to win the game, in order to be successful. It's not going to be one time. So just train yourself to go above and beyond. It just is what it is. That's the only way it's going to cut it. It just is what it is. So use that dissatisfaction as fuel. Think about the time that you got told no a million times. Think about all of this stuff. When you're actually tired, or you think you're tired, you're under the perception that you're tired. Think about this stuff. So my next step is, who do you want to become? What do you see for yourself? Who do you want to market to? How do you want your market to see you? Who do you want to become? I know you want to be the first of you, but who is Brandon B. Dixon? Who is insert your name? How do you want the public to see you? How do you want to shape this character? How do you want to shape this person, this entity that you're going to become? You have to ponder on this. You have to take the next step. And then you have to execute that game plan. It just is what it is. I want to be deified as a philanthropist, entrepreneur, a great writer. This is who Brandon B. Dixon is. That's what I've become. A great entrepreneur. An entrepreneur that didn't get inherited anything, didn't get any handouts. That's what I want to become. That's what I have envisioned. That's what I'm going to execute. And this is what you have to put inside of your matrix, put inside of your operating systems, and you have to execute that. Let's get into the unseen part of the Upload Beast programming. We talked about last time in epigenetics, in part one of the Billionaire Mind State, about changing the environment. And now that we got these operating systems in place, we got the new Beast Mind State. We got the work ethic scripted down through our goal setting. That's another thing. I taught about goal setting already. So that's an important thing. Not only doing your annual goals, doing your weekly goals, doing your monthly goals, doing your daily goals, but refreshing your daily goals, going over and over and over and over. Again, when you do that, you're reprogramming the subconscious mind. Now you go to the accomplishment mind state. It's not about how much I do per hour, it's how much I get accomplished per day. Then the money is going to flow. I got money coming from everywhere. I don't even count it like that at an hourly state anymore. It's how many plays I can make and how many chunks can I get. And annually, I look back on how much I made per year. That's how I am. I don't do the hourly thing anymore. That's just me. But you calculate your own success how you want to calculate it. But goal setting, using that goal setting as a marker and marking off your accomplishments as you go. And you have to refresh yourself daily. So now that I've done this, you still have to use meditation as maintenance. You're not going to get around meditation. So you meditated to reflect and to cleanse yourself, to detox yourself, and to get further instructions on what to do next. Now that you've got it and you got it formulated in your head, you took it from the thought, the first dimension, to the second dimension, wrote it down through goal setting. Now I'm priming myself for the third part, which is the action. And that's going to be the third part of the lecture coming out soon next week. Action Jackson. How do I be all action? All bark, no bite. All bite, no bark. It's all action. All gas, no brakes. So priming yourself for that action, you have to meditate. And the meditation and the maintenance meditation is a little bit different than the cleansing meditation. The maintenance meditation is I'm talking in the future and now sense instead of a reflective sense, instead of the past, instead of scrubbing and erasing the past, instead of patching up and healing up the past. I'm now dictating on what I want to become. So when I write my goals, I say, I am a billionaire. I am a New York top selling published author. I am a community activist. I am a public figure. I am a success. I am a pentamillionaire. I am a billionaire. What you put these goals and you put it to I am. And I'm not going to get into the power of I am, but that's coming out in the book. We're going to talk about that more in the book. But the power of I am and manifestation is powerful. I am money. So once you do those chants, which is reciting those goals over and over inside the mental, inside your consciousness, now you're reprogramming the subconscious mind. Also, you need to do some of these daily affirmations. There's affirmation stuff that we're going to put out real soon. I'm going to put out real soon. Daily affirmation, money affirmations, positive reinforcement affirmation, workout affirmations. Do that twice. I do it while I'm falling asleep because that's when your subconscious mind is at its peak. So I do my regular meditation and I'm going to constantly chant this over and over. I am this, I am that, I am this. Then while I'm sleeping, I'm going to listen to a recording doing my affirmations. So while I'm in my subconscious state and when it's at its height, the melatonin is at its height, this is being programmed to the subconscious mind. Same thing when I wake up at 5:30. Boom, I got the money affirmations going while I'm getting dressed, while I'm taking a shower. Again, while the melatonin is still at its peak. Now when I'm working out, I'm going to get the same thing going. I'm going to be listening to something positive because now I got that blood flowing and stuff like that. Your subconscious mind is absorbing. So that way, during that day, you're going to be fired up and you're going to be primed to execute all of your tasks that you got set up. But if you feed the subconscious mind with BS, you watching some BS on Netflix before you go to sleep, you wake up and you listen to some booty shaking music while you're working out, some negative kill 'em up, shoot 'em up, bang bang type stuff. That's what you're going to manifest. You're going to manifest throughout the day chaos. You see? So this isn't a joke, man. You have to actually take the precautions and the necessary steps in order to become successful, in order to manifest these positive things and these things in life. So upload beasts. Get your operating systems to a beast level. Break loose to the average Joe type mentality. Average Joes do average Joe stuff. If you find yourself doing average, they call it basic. If you want to do basic stuff, then you're going to become basic. Do extraordinary stuff. Extraordinary to become extraordinary. You see? Again, I say this on my vlog daily, is what you do is who you truly are. A lot of people can say a lot of stuff. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. Let's take a look at the bank account. Let's take a look at your life. See, a lot of people go through fantasy land. They tell themselves in their mind, they built up this ego to make themselves feel good. So they don't have to deal with the reality of who they truly are. And when you start to poke at that, that's when they unleash it on you. That's when the adverse effects come out because you're poking at their ego. You know, they know you can see through it. So they don't know how to react. So they unleash on you because you can see through the mask. I can see through the BS. So they're, oh man, you're a hater. You're this, you're that. No, man, I'm not impressed. I'm not fooled. People that's really moving and shaking, they don't have to say it. They just do it. You don't have to constantly remind me of what you are. I'm the smartest in the room. I'm the smartest in the room. I'm the smartest in the room. Chances are you're the dumbest in the room. It just is what it is, man. 1 + 1 = 2. You know, most people that's entrepreneurs gonna be all bite, no bark. You're not even gonna know when the bite coming. You know, it just is what it is. Again, I'm at the 45 mark, so I'm gonna start this. In conclusion, you know, we're gonna talk about the third part a little bit more in depth, which is gonna be how to take action, the art of taking action. And we're gonna dive into that a little bit more. But the second part was all about it's the middle part, which is all about now that I detox, let me put these systems in place. Let me write down my goals and let me contemplate on who I want to become and visualize who I want to become. And you have to be a beast. There's no shortcut. You have to be a goat. Only the goats get to the Billy. Only the goats, the greatest of all time in your profession, get to the Billy Club. It just is what it is, family. Again, let me go ahead and wrap it up. I'm not going to keep you too long. My name is Brandon B. Dixon. Follow me at Billionaire Loan Officer on all social media. My website, www.billionaireloanofficer.com. You want to book me for a lectures, sales training, consultation, call me, 832-775-8357. I'm available 24/7. I really live this. I take calls at 2 a.m. in the morning. So I really practice what I preach. You need a mortgage, www.hocmortgage.com. Log on, get yourself a rental portfolio, get yourself an investor portfolio, fix and flip. Let's go. I'm ready to lend you the money now. You know, so I'm not going to keep y'all too long. Remember, God is a verb and personal responsibility is your only savior. And with that, I'll say peace.